Learn what is to be taken seriously and laugh at the rest. If you hate a person, you hate something in him that is part of yourself. What isn't part of ourselves doesn't disturb us. Wisdom cannot be imparted. Wisdom that a wise man attempts to impart always sounds like foolishness to someone else. Knowledge can be communicated, but not wisdom. One can find it, live it, do wonders through it, but one cannot communicate and teach it. Whoever wants music instead of noise, joy instead of pleasure, soul instead of gold, creative work instead of business, passion instead of foolery, finds no home in this trivial world of ours. I have been and still am a seeker, but I have ceased to question stars and books. I have begun to listen to the teaching my blood whispers to me. Words do not express thoughts very well. They always become a little different immediately after they are expressed, a little distorted, a little foolish. We are sun and moon, dear friend, we are sea and land. It is not our purpose to become each other, it is to recognize each other, to learn to see the other and honor him for what he is, each the other's opposite and complement. It is not for me to judge another man's life. I must judge, I must choose, I must spurn, purely for myself. For myself, alone. If I know what love is, it is because of you. Some of us think holding on makes us strong, but sometimes it is letting go. I have always believed, and I still believe, that whatever good or bad fortune may come our way, we can always give it meaning and transform it into something of value. Without words, without writing, and without books there would be no history, there could be no concept of humanity. I live in my dreams, that's what you sense. Other people live in dreams, but not in their own. That's the difference. We are not going in circles, we are going upwards. The path is a spiral, we have already climbed many steps. You are willing to die, you coward, but not to live. What could I say to you that would be of value, except that perhaps you seek too much, that as a result of your seeking you cannot find? Oh, love isn't there to make us happy. I believe it exists to show us how much we can endure. Often it is the most deserving people who cannot help loving those who destroy them. Love must not entreat, she added, or demand. Love must have the strength to become certain within itself. Then it ceases merely to be attracted and begins to attract. Words do not express thoughts very well. They always become a little different immediately they are expressed, a little distorted, a little foolish. And yet it also pleases me and seems right that what is of value and wisdom to one man seems nonsense to another. The bird fights its way out of the egg. The egg is the world. Who would be born must first destroy a world. The bird flies to God. That God's name is Abraxas. One never reaches home, she said. But where paths that have an affinity for each other intersect, the whole world looks like home, for a time. When you like someone, you like them in spite of their faults. When you love someone, you love them with their faults. I will no longer mutilate and destroy myself in order to find a secret behind the ruins. Because the world is so full of death and horror, I try again and again to console my heart and pick the flowers that grow in the midst of hell. People with courage and character always seem sinister to the rest. Those who are too lazy and comfortable to think for themselves and be their own judges obey the laws. Others sense their own laws within them. Gaze into the fire, into the clouds, and as soon as the inner voices begin to speak, surrender to them. Don't ask first whether it's permitted, or would please your teachers or father or some god. You will ruin yourself if you do that. Your soul is the whole world. In eternity there is no time, only an instant long enough for a joke. My real self wanders elsewhere, far away, wanders on and on invisibly and has nothing to do with my life.